Hello everybody, welcome back to my reaction channel. If you are new here, my name is Isaac, and on this channel we just react to videos. So today we are going to be reacting to Why the Bad Guys Always Win Jon Jones documentary. So this video came out 4 days ago. Haven't seen it yet. I've been meaning to react to it. But as some of you may know, I love UFC, obviously. So yeah, we're going to react to this Jon Jones documentary, so let's get into it.
Deep inside yourself, are you a good guy trying to be bad, or are you a bad guy trying to be good?
That's a good question.
But it's the wrong question.
Metro Police, how may I help you?
Hey, this is Eduardo Caesar's Public Security. We've got a possible domestic violence call. Female is bleeding from the nose and mouth.
I bet you it's Jon Jones. I look in the thing, it was like Jon Jones, and I seen his girlfriend.
You know where this happened at?
We believe it happened in the room. So she's not admitting to any domestic violence, any physical violence. But I mean, she's bleeding from the nose and mouth. She's down with us while the male is up at the room, and he's actually a professional MMA fighter, Jonathan Jones.
A few hours before that 911 call, Jon Jones gets inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame for taking part in one of the greatest fights of all time.
Oh,
That
yeah,
fight with
about
Alexander
that.
Gustafsson was one of the toughest things I had to do in my years, both mentally and physically. It was only 25 minutes, but I learned a lot about myself in that 25 minutes.
And Jon Jones may be losing this fight going into the championship round.
The fourth and fifth round, I pulled from something that I didn't know I had inside of me.
There's a lot of anxiety in the corner of the champion, Mike.
I remember the fight.
And there's a nice elbow. Caught him. Oh, that might have hurt him.
Yeah, that's it.
It's probably the hardest battle I had in my career. I saw 3 Jones out there.
Gustafsson is hurt.
he said, I seen 3 Joneses out there. Bro, Jones must have hit you hard as fuck.
To the spin again. Gustafsson's busted up now. Final seconds of the round. Flying knee.
Jon Jones is such a beast. Winning over Jon Jones is bigger than taking the belt.
Incredible fight. Incredible fight. Who would have thought we'd be going into the 5th round and Jon Jones might have to take Gustafsson out to retain his title.
Forever now, I do know what I'm like when things get tough.
Gustafsson looks to take Jones a nice uppercuts. Those punches are busting up the mouth of Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Nice elbows. Head kick. Big head kick. And Gustafsson just put his hands on his hips like he was exhausted. Another head kick. Both of these guys are pushed to their limit in this fight. Spinning elbow. Gustafsson. Hands up. Hands up. 30 seconds. There's a head kick again. And another. Incredible. And an elbow. They're going to go the distance. Flying knee by Jones. That might be the greatest title fight in the history of the light heavyweight division.
Fucking ads,
His victory
man.
against Gustafsson solidifies the Jones family as one of the most prolific in American sports history. The same year, his older brother Arthur wins the Super Bowl, while his younger brother Chandler plays his 2nd season with the New England Patriots.
This is about $1 billion to 1 shot that one family would produce a Baltimore Raven and a young stud New England Patriot. How do you explain that all 3 of you came from the same household?
Grew up in the inner city of Rochester.
It's a really small town, and
We share the same bedroom, all 3 of us. Yeah, we share the same bedroom.
Oh my God!
I'm the middle as far as age, but when it comes to size, I'm the smallest by far of my brothers. So I've been getting my butt kicked since I was a little boy. Chandler and Arthur was always exceptional. You know, they were always the captains of the football team. I was always like 3rd string. My freshman year wrestling, my record was 5-35. I got my butt whooped. I was never the strongest, never the fastest, never had the best physique.
I thought, though, they called you Bones because you broke people's bones, but apparently they said it's because your brothers used to call you Skin and Bones?
yeah, I was so skinny.
My wrestling coach gave me the nickname of Bones, yeah.
No, it's just always been a great competition growing up to be the best, and
Everything was a competition. You know, we were running around the house. Who could open the refrigerator the fastest? Who can drink the most milk?
But they'd be so mad. They come home, there's
Okay, I was agreeing at first, but like, damn, I didn't do that for everything with my brother. Jesus.
holes in the walls.
Furniture broken.
You know, the foundation of the couch is cracked. Beds are broken.
Right.
This scar in the middle of my forehead, it's from this guy.
I got one too now.
My father actually bought a wrestling net and put it in our basement just so we wouldn't break furniture. When we get home, as soon as we get home, we would take our backpacks off and we would go in the basement and we'll just get 5-minute rounds apiece and we'll just wrestle.
My dad's a great guy. You know, he's a pastor. You know, him being a spiritual leader, you know, he really taught us the importance of faith and belief. I felt growing up he was always a little harder on me. You know, we looked a lot alike and we had the same personality, so we would butt heads a lot. He was a guy who was so passionate about us succeeding in sports to the point where he made wrestling this competition for us where he would give us $6 if we got a pin, $2 if we won, like in the finals.
My mom was really the bully of the family. That's where John get it from.
She's the strong one of the household. I think she wears the pants.
My mom always taught us one fight, we all fight. So we jumped a lot of people growing up.
Dude, I got my butt kicked when I was a lot younger.
Damn.
A kid named Leonard. He came over, double leg dived me. My head hit the concrete so hard that my eyes started watering. This guy grounded pounded me. And then my mom was such a saint. She came outside and gave this boy a big old hug and was like, oh, wow.
The thing is,
doing that, baby.
No one believes that guy.
I remember from a young age, she's always kept us in the soup kitchens at our church, you know, feeding the homeless. And, you know, I always remember her helping out a lot of women who dealt with domestic violence. And
You said he's a professional MMA fighter?
Yeah.
That's just funny. You know, he just transitioned into that. Oh my god.
And she's in security holding right now?
No, she's on the casino floor and she has three young girls with her.
She's refusing medical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I really shouldn't have laughed at that, but y'all know that shit was funny.
So humiliating.
Not the situation.
I got the Hall of Fame tonight. Hey, man, you're going to put me on this by walking down the street.
Is this where he bangs his head?
You're f***ing nerd. I hate you. I hate you.
Look at my boy here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the video of him banging his head on the car.
I hate you. I hate you. You fucking nerd. I hate you so much.
A few weeks after his arrest,
guess
John
not.
shares this tweet, then immediately deletes it. My life wasn't always great, man. Being molested as a child, losing a parent and a sibling to disease at a young age. It goes on and on. I got things I need to deal with.
You and your family have dealt with some pretty real stuff, including the loss of your sister.
I had a sister who passed away when she was 18 years old. She had brain cancer. You know, to see a girl who kind of seemed flawless to me at the time. You know, she was only 18 when she died, and she was a part of the church. She was a part of our choir. She was on the high school basketball team, high honor roll student. She was doing everything right. And then, you know, to have her just everything taken away from her, her beauty, her hair, you know, to have it all fall out. It was hard to see and it was hard to witness and kind of grasp and understand why.
I can't understand. I can't understand for the life of me why God would send me to Binghamton and within a year or two, he would take my only daughter and one they used to sing in church and the spirit and the power and the presence and the anointing of God would come down. Yeah. God, why you wouldn't take some of them folks out there? Why wouldn't you take some of those bad folks? But then you take mine. Hello, somebody. And God says, why not? She's not exempt. Hello? Then I looked at the word and it says, God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
Her name was Carmen. Her favorite verse from the Bible was Philippians 4:13.
You're a religious person, but you have a tattoo.
Right.
Oh, you have a religious tattoo, which is double ironic. Because it says in the Bible not to get tattooed.
Right, not to mess with the temple. Right.
But then you gotta
pick and choose, right? What you want to listen to. You know, I wear this tattoo on my chest, Philippians 4:13, that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I genuinely believe that I can do anything. Coming out of high school, I started drinking in high school, and I always felt like I needed alcohol to be cool or to conquer anxiety. Well, I was kind of more reserved, you know, trying to figure out who I was going to be as a person. And
I'm glad I didn't fucking Fall for that shit?
Where my place was.
No, I just fell for weed. No, I'm joking. That shit was in middle school.
In this world. During the lunch breaks, I didn't really have a huge group of friends, so I would find myself standing there talking to the security officer, and I just became infatuated with the job that he had. You know, I thought it was awesome, and I thought to myself,
security?
you know, these people are stand-up individuals. You know, people look up to them. They're helping others. They're being macho. You know, this is right down my alley. So I always knew I wanted to go to school for criminal justice and become a police officer.
John gets into Iowa Central Community College in criminal justice. Yet, the drinking continues.
It just went from high school to college when you get party even more.
But it doesn't seem to affect his performances. Quite the contrary.
You won everything in college.
Yeah, I won a state championship in high school and a national championship my freshman year in Iowa, so yeah.
But at the end of his first year, John finds out his girlfriend, Jessie, is pregnant. He's forced to choose between his college wrestling dreams or going back home with Jessie.
Suddenly, I'm a dropout. A few months after I was done with school, you know, I was a bouncer for a while. I was looking for some jobs and some opportunities, and I'm working at a bar.
And I was applying to be a janitor because I would have benefits.
I'm telling people that I want to be a UFC fighter. You know, it was kind of embarrassing in some ways. I'm running into all these kids my age. John, you know, I thought you were in college. It's like, oh, well, actually, you know, I thought I'd try the fighting thing. You're gonna be a what? A cage fighter? I'm like, yeah, you know, the UFC thing. And they're like, oh, well, cool. You know, I'm in my last year and my accounting degree or my business major.
I literally got on all these TED Talks and on YouTube, and I just started YouTubing videos about self-belief and what does it mean to be confident? What does it mean to be a winner?
I made sure that all those kids that I was looking in the eyes, telling them that I wanted to be a UFC fighter, and the ones that doubted me or looked at me funny, I made sure that I would prove them wrong one day.
And I would watch hours and hours of Tony Robbins and Les Brown and
I'm reading a book called Relentless right now. It talks about being a cleaner.
I read that book like 3 years ago, so
It's a good book.
it's a good book.
It's a good book.
It might have helped me get here, to be honest.
You know, I'm reading it right now in this training camp leading into beating your ass.
Think Michael Jordan, the ultimate cleaner. Michael never cared about achieving mere greatness. He cared about being the best ever. Larry Bird is a cleaner. Kobe, Dwayne, cleaners. Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, Charles Barkley. In the business world, we're talking about Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. Most presidents are cleaner. And good luck getting re-elected if you're not. Stardom doesn't make you a cleaner. Winning does. And not just winning once. You have to be able to do it again and again.
Here's another cleaner.
Yep.
AG1. You don't need to be an athlete to be a cleaner, but you do need to feel healthy and ready to go. That's why I drink AG1 every single morning before I get to work. I mean, Joe Rogan is a cleaner.
I love it.
Dude, that fucking sponsor was like long as shit.
It's happened so fast. 1 second I was pregnant and we had no clue what we were gonna do. And the next second he's stepping into the cage for his very first fight.
I made it to the UFC after only training for 4 months, which is really uncommon. And the moment they said, and the winner is John Bones Jones, I got my hand raised. And I was just like, wow, I just beat somebody in the UFC. You know, I can do this. I can make a future for myself.
He was an eager student. You know, John just wanted to learn. Very big imagination, very eager to be the guy. You know, I remember we went out one time and he's like, oh man, what is it like to have, you know, people come up to you and want to take pictures? And I'm like, one day you'll find out, you know, it's
so super ambitious.
Very ambitious.
Curious, was he humble?
Yeah, he was humble. He was
confident.
But confident.
I remember walking through Mandalay Bay. I talked to one of the guys, I think, on the PR staff, and he's like, right now I'm escorting you to your room, and you know, no one knows who you are. And he's like, you know, one of these days, people are gonna swarm you when you walk through this arena. He's like, people are gonna know who you are one day. And I was just like, yeah. He's like, yeah. So she's like, trust me, you just wait.
You know, growing up, I always looked at, you know, Michael Jordan and like Tiger Woods before his controversy. I looked at these guys as being the ideal champion.
I have a goal and I have a dream in the sport, and that's to make it to the very top of the ladder. Being some sort of leader and a role model to, you know, younger athletes who want to do the same things or similar things.
Now that we're, you know, adults, you know, we're still competing at everything we do to be the best, and you know, we work hard every single day to outdo each other.
I ain't done yet. The New England Patriots select Chandler.
Woo! We in Times Square right here, and I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling like $1 million right now.
I'm feeling good.
A hard time finding what their true purpose is on this planet. I think it's the highest blessing to know what you're meant to do in this world.
Yup.
You know, your name is your brand, and that's something that we take pride in, you know, making our parents' name great.
Will your brother ever lose? No, never. He will never lose.
That's something that I think he was born to do. I think this guy just opened the door.
No, no. He never lost, except for that one fight, but technically he never lost.
Oh.
Chandler, help me. Chandler, help me.
Hold on, I'm recording. I'm doing all
He said, nah, bro, I'm recording.
When you're a cleaner, you have a dark side that refuses to be taught good.
John Bones Jones was arrested and charged with a DWI early Saturday morning.
Police say Jones was behind the wheel of his 2012 Bentley, which crashed into a telephone pole.
Jones admitted he was driving drunk.
Do you know the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? A respected upstanding doctor discovers a potion that temporarily turns him into a dark, sinister predator.
Oh.
Jekyll lives quietly by the rules. Hyde acts on impulse and instinct. Hyde does whatever he wants and doesn't care about consequences or whom he has to destroy in the process. Jekyll lives by the light. Hyde exists in the dark. And those instincts can only come out when that dark side is allowed to surface. I don't know if there's a better example than Tiger Woods, whose now famous dark side led him to become involved with a dozen or so women who were not his wife. Tiger had done such a good job of wearing the mask and hiding his dark side that people were just blown away by the revelation that Jekyll was smiling for the camera and making the commercials, and Hyde was handling everything else. Once the story came out, his career began to deteriorate in every way conceivable. His dark side evaporated. That kind of energy simply can't survive in the light unless you're willing to stand up and say, yeah, so what? And you go right on doing whatever you were doing. That's how you keep your dark side dark. Deep inside you, there's an undeniable force driving your actions. The part of you that refuses to be ordinary. The piece that stays raw, untamed. The kind you keep in the dark, where you crave things you don't talk about. From the earliest age, you were taught those things were bad, don't touch, don't look, don't say that. So you stuffed them away and learned you shouldn't want them. But instead, you just crave them more. That's who you are. It's not bad, it's not good. It's just your natural, untamed instinct telling you what it wants and driving you to get it. Sex, money, fame, power, success. Whatever you crave. Sex, money, fame, power, success.
What the fuck?
Sex, money, fame, power, success. Whatever you crave.
What the fuck?
The fourth and fifth round, I pulled from something that I didn't know I had inside of me.
The dark side is your fuel, your energy. It excites you, keeps you on the edge, recharges you, fills your tank.
I found something inside to just be that ounce better than him when I needed to be.
I'm trying to be a cleaner, dude. I wanna dominate for years and years to come.
Is it the DNA in him? Is it he learned it from somebody?
It's in him.
A cleaner with a strong dark side can succeed at whatever he chooses, and his path is usually determined at an early age by his family or environment or culture. At some point in his life, something challenged him and made him survive, and the result was his total confidence that whatever happened to him, his instincts would cover his ass, and he'd be okay.
I had this crazy thing that I would do where I would party 1 week before every fight. And I did it throughout my whole career.
You fought Alexander Gustafsson. Be honest about that. How much did you train for that fight?
I partied my tail off for Gustafsson, and I won the fight knowing I didn't deserve to win that fight.
Watch this. I control it all. It doesn't control me. I own this.
What gets John in trouble is because every four weeks before his fight, he likes to blow off a little bit of steam.
Blow off a little literally, a little too literally.
Yeah, a little too literally.
UFC champ Jon Jones said that he'd take his drug treatment program very seriously after testing positive for a cocaine metabolite in a December 4th drug test. But he never said for how long. Jones's mother, Camille, admitted Monday that her son left the rehab facility after just one night.
Drinking, every weekend pretty much, to the point of blacking out. Just
blacking out?
Yeah, but still training my butt off.
What was the reaction from your family and friends?
Saying, quote, "I'm glad that this happened to John. This stopped him in his tracks. Me and my husband considered it a blessing from God that our child was able to be helped and know that he needs to stop before it came to something worse."
The dark side has no place at the family dinner table. Cleaners understand this, so they wear a mask of normalcy. The face on the mask is the person others want them to be.
You don't know me. No one knows me. You don't know me. Hurry up.
So who are you? Who's the real Jon Jones?
They know they're not being themselves. The only time you can be 100% yourself is when you're connected to your dark side.
Pay attention closely and understand the many sides of my personality and who I am.
But they do what they have to do so they can ultimately do what they want to.
This is just the latest in a list of troubles for Jones. He was suspended by the UFC after he crashed into a pregnant woman and bolted from the scene, then admitted he'd been partying before the crash.
There's something in him that's causing him to keep going back to that place.
He is his own worst enemy.
Did anybody step in and say, "Hey man, you gotta get your shit together"?
Oh, I've had a lot of people tell me I need to get my shit together.
I think everybody thinks of me or us like high school coaches, like, well, did you get him on the right track? He's almost 30 years old. He's a grown ass man. This isn't high school, nor is it even college.
Throughout my whole career, everybody said to me, "John, what would happen if you didn't drink, you didn't smoke? Imagine how great you could be." My Open St. Preux fight was the first fight that I did not do that. It was my worst performance.
And soon the dark...
Wait, what did he just say?
Open St. Preux fight was the first fight that I did not do that.
Okay, so never mind. My question is irrelevant. He answered it.
It was my worst performance.
And soon the dark side expands beyond John.
And much of what happened when Chandler Jones walked into the Foxborough police station on Sunday morning is still a mystery. The defensive end went into the police station around 7:45 Sunday morning.
Definitely involved in Class D Delta before this happened, just so you know.
Is he good? Is he cool? Yeah, Chandler's doing great.
And 6 months after Chandler, John tests positive for PEDs.
I'm very disappointed with all the stuff that's happened to him, obviously, and
he's been in that same situation a couple of times. This is not the first time.
Well, he definitely is a wild motherfucker.
He is. He is.
And 2 weeks after John, Arthur also tests positive.
But does no one think it's very suspicious that John and then his brother who's in the NFL tests positive for PEDs? You think that's a coincidence?
Dana White says that you are embracing your role as the bad guy. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't agree with embracing a role as a bad guy. Done some bad things, but I strive to be a good person.
And less than a year later, their mother passes away.
When we spoke earlier this year, you told me that you checked into a rehab center.
Yeah, I did.
Because of everything that was going on, plus to deal with your mom's passing, right?
Yeah.
When you're there,
it was more like a trauma center. It was trauma and rehab. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to learn a lot about the whole thing, about depression, about trauma, about addiction, and I feel tremendous. I feel a weight lifted off my shoulders, and I actually think it's going to be something that I do every summer.
Cleaner law. Control your dark side. Don't let it control you. Who's in charge? You or your dark side?
And here we are again. It's hard to bring this guy to Las Vegas for any reason. This guy's got a lot of demons, man.
Yep.
A lot of demons.
Hurt me in my fucking whole damn life. Just about big and black. And what did I do? All these opposites.
A cleaner controls his urges, not the other way around. The dark side isn't about taking stupid risks and getting in trouble. That would show weakness. You can feel your desires and act on them or not act on them. Your self-control is what distinguishes you from everyone else. Look at what happened to poor Dr. Jekyll. He ultimately killed himself when he realized Mr. Hyde, his dark side, was emerging on its own, and he could no longer control the uncontrollable.
Sometimes people
they don't survive situations like that.
Because they're so wild and they're having a good time too much and they're partying. End of the champ.
It has to come to an end. That stuff. If you don't bring it to an end, it's gonna come to its own end.
Oh, me. Hurt me and kick me. What did I do? Yeah, thank you. My fault. A black man can't drink. Getting elected to the Hall of Fame, and now this is what I got. What's that?
Relax. Are you a good guy?
Bro was definitely on something.
You're my fault. A black man can't drink. Getting elected to the Hall of Fame, and now this is what I got. What's that?
Relax. Are you a good guy trying to be bad, or are you a bad guy trying to be good?
That's a good question. I think I am a bad guy that's trying to be good. Just because religiously we're all sinners. We're all sinners. We're born into sin. It's our nature to sin. And it's a decision to try to do the right thing.
God, is this what you brought me to? Is all this for nothing? When I go back home, do I have anything to show for it? All the time that you put in? Some of y'all sitting here now said, do it. Help me, Lord. What do you have to show for it?
I came from my Hall of Fame ceremony, and I'm black, and I have my friends, and I did nothing to you. And I'm not, it was at a ceremony with the Hall of Fame person. I'm not going to answer your questions no more, you fuck.
Trying to get high with these young kids. It's time to come on in.
You have anything in your pockets, man? What did I do? It's okay, one sleepless night. I fuck until the other side. I hate you. I hate you.
What you had to show for? Look how long you done got high. Look how long you done played. You ain't got nothing to show for it. You in jail, you can't vote. You spent all your time in jail. You ain't got nothing to show for it. You been a drug addict that long. You ain't got nothing to show for it. You been a drunk that long. You ain't got nothing to show for it. You been in school, but you still ain't got nothing to show for it.
You did it, sir. Yes, sir.
Any job you had, and you ain't got nothing to show for it.
The greatest of all time, Lieutenant John Jones.
Last thing.
Oh my god. Alright. Patrick, I'm not even gonna attempt to say it. I like your video, brother. Pretty good. Damn. That shit was like honestly emotional as fuck. Yeah, I couldn't imagine going through that shit. Like, that was tough. Like, damn. But yeah, but let me know if you guys want me to react to any UFC best of moments videos, or just any videos you guys want me to react to. Just let me know, comment down below. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on that post notification so you're always alerted when a video comes out, and make sure to go like this guy or girl's video. Yeah, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.